Hey guys, this is Vapid from VapidFlats.com, Vapid Flats Classic server and SMP server. So I wanted to make a video that talks about being an operator on my Classic server. This video will be tailored a little bit to my server, but you know, all the commands that we're going to go over do definitely apply to most Classic servers. We do run MCForge, used to be MCLawl, but you know, things change. So if you're running any kind of software, MCLawl or MCForge, most of these commands are going to apply to both. There's just a very few different commands because of what they've changed with the MCForge upgrades. So anyways, we're going to talk about the about command first. So about is, let me get my window up here, about is a command that will tell you the block history for a particular block that you choose. This is probably your most powerful command outside of X-ban or banning somebody on a server. So this is going to be the very first thing you should know. When you click on a block, it tells you who edited it and what time they did it. This is kind of important. There's probably about 2 or 3 things that you need to be aware of when you're using the about command. Look at those dates. You could see that the date is 4/24 and today, well, the day I'm recording this video is 4/24, so we know this was just happening today. Sometimes what we'll have is people will do the about command on a cuboided area, and they'll see like somebody had destroyed a block in the middle of a cuboid, but it was like 3 days ago, or it's not the right person that you're trying to catch griefing. So you got to really be careful what time you choose or what times are shown in that list. Also, there's a lot of people that fix griefed structures. They'll go out there and help out and rebuild somebody's stuff, and those people might actually end up looking like the person that was griefing in the first place. And so sometimes, sadly, they get banned, and well, it's because it's hard to tell sometimes who's really destroying the things. So just keep an eye out. Make sure you're paying attention when you're looking over all that. So the other thing I want to make sure you understand about this command, and I kind of briefly just mentioned it, when you're using it, and if you're trying to find a builder, or possibly it is a builder that is griefing your structures, and they're using cuboids, well, cuboids don't get tracked except for the start and end blocks that they place. So those 2 first blocks that you use when you create that cuboid, those are the only 2 blocks that will show up with the about command. So if I go here and I'm going to show you the shortcut, it's B/B. That's the same thing as about. If I break this block, it has no information on it. This block has not been modified since the map was cleared, and that's because I didn't actually use my mouse per se to place that block. That was generated by the command. So when you're out there and you're looking at different builds and things like that, and you're like, wait a minute, there's no information on whoever built this. The reason is probably they used cuboid to build it, and you happen to be clicking on blocks that are not those original cuboided blocks, or I'm sorry, these original placed blocks. So whenever you're using the about command, go for the corners. That's usually a good way to do it. Just look for the corner blocks, and you'll probably go ahead and find something at some point where it actually shows some good information. So the second command that goes along with about is the static command, and the reason we use static is so that we don't have to do the about command every time we want to find a block. So you just do static B, or you do static about, whatever you prefer, and it turns static mode on, and I can go around and just repeatedly check for blocks. And you can see I just found the starting block with all the information about it on that. So anyways, static's pretty straightforward. You should probably already know what static does. If you've made it this far, if you're thinking about being an operator, it's a pretty basic command. So the next command we're going to do is the highlight command, and so in order to see kind of what highlight does, I'm going to take us over to my guest map, And we'll go ahead and take a peek there. I have no idea what it looks like right now, so hopefully it's not too briefed. Alright, and it appears that somebody has built one of the things I hate the most. Oh, and by the way, I'll just really quickly talk about this command. The abort command, anytime you want to stop using the static mode, you could do it two ways. You can say, you can type static again and it will toggle it off, but just out of habit and all the different commands that we use, I actually prefer to use abort. So abort, every toggle or action was aborted. And so let's see if I can get out of this thing. There we go. That's always bothered me. I hate it when that happens because it kind of like takes me a little bit longer to get things going. So I'm going to probably change the spawn point for the map so that spawn, so that I don't have to deal with that anymore. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and use the highlight command to see if we can find some information about who or where somebody's been placing blocks. So let's see if White Star 3 has done anything recently. So let's do this. Highlight. And we're going to put his name in. And if you didn't know this, you can go ahead and hold tab and then just click on these names. And, oh. Well, that's kind of annoying. Well, you used to be able to do that. That might be something due to me recording. I'm not sure. But that's a little bit annoying. You used to be able to go ahead and click White Star and it would put it in. So I'm just going to highlight White Star and we're going to reveal 300 seconds of White Star. So let's see what he's done. It looks like, see this green block right here? This green block is probably something he's just placed, so I'm going to just use B. Yep, he did just place that using red. So that's the benefit of using highlight. And this isn't exactly the best example of highlight. Usually you want to use it on people that you know have been breaking the rules. And you'll see like all sorts of blocks all of a sudden light up and show what he's been doing. And actually, if I go TP, what was his name? White Star, and find him. He's running around quite a bit. I don't know what he's doing. He's not. Doesn't look like he's griefing too much, but anyways, if he was, we would obviously see a whole bunch of bright green blocks showing up here. So it looks like maybe he's one of those guys that fixes things more than anything. But let's go ahead and reveal. Reveal will remove all those colored blocks for you. After you're done looking at what somebody's done, there's no real way outside of reveal or leaving the map and coming back to the map, I think will also work, to get rid of those bright green blocks or bright red blocks that show up from the highlight command. But if you're having trouble finding somebody's grief or whatever, you can't figure out exactly what this guy's been doing. He may be just griefing one or two blocks on each build. It's just kind of hard to locate. You can go ahead and use that highlight command to go ahead and just find out where he's been. So let's see here. Next command, xband. We used xband because it does a undo. It undoes all the person's stuff. It bans them, bans their IP address. You know, it kind of does everything all in one. So we've started using that command. The old command used to look like this. So if you don't have xband and you want to ban somebody, the best way to do it is ban the @ symbol and then the name. And what that's going to do is ban that person and ban their IP address. And I believe if you're an operator or higher, it will even undo 5,400 seconds. Yeah, let's see here. Ban. Well, it just says the @ symbol creates a total ban, but that does include their IP address undoing, and their name gets banned too. And I can see on my screen way over here that it appears this guy might be griefing. I'm not sure if he built that or not. So we're going to go ahead and use the about command real quick. Static about, and see if he built it. Well, looks like it was destroyed. Well, it doesn't look like he's griefing. Looks like he's just building something. So nothing I'm worried about. We're going to let him have his fun and move on. So Xban. If I can, I'm going to actually see if I can find somebody to use this command on. There's been a little bit of grief since I was last here, and let's see here. Destroyed. I'm looking at the date. This is actually a builder. And see how all these blocks have been created and destroyed by the same builder. So we have a rule on our server that you should not grief your own builds. They should look completed. So this is actually something that I probably am going to just get rid of this guy for. I don't like it when builds look like this on my server. It looks like, you know, we don't have control over our server. We're not taking care of our server. So I'm going to go ahead and do an Xban on him. SOER. I wish I still had that darn tab where you can click on people's names. That kind of sucks. So anyways, I grabbed his name, and since he's offline, it's really important that you make sure his name is spelt correctly. Otherwise, you're going to ban somebody that's never been to your server. So we just did an Xban, and it took care of all his stuff. It removed all that stuff that he had built. And, you know, let's be honest, a lot of that wasn't exactly bad, but when you leave stuff on our server that looks griefed like that, it's not a good thing. And plus, he wasn't a builder. If he had been a builder, Rick, I might have possibly given him a little bit more benefit of the doubt, but, you know, hey. So anyways, that's the Xban command. It just undoes everything. You can see from the history, his actions for the last 500,000 seconds were undone. He's banned, and his IP address also got banned. So that kind of took care of that problem, at least until he gets a new IP address, and then he could go ahead and create a bunch of new accounts and come back. So I am sure that there are a lot of IP addresses that have been banned, and that person has actually started coming back again. So xundo is the next command. So xundo is a command that will undo 500,000 seconds for a player, and it works for lower ranks. So if you're a sub operator, which is at the rank right before operator on our server, then that command will work for you. It used to be that only operators are higher. I think actually it might have been server admins are higher could do the undo, like 9,000 or 900,000. You know, we used to have to type it in by hand, but now I think we can actually have everybody do it. So that's undo, Xban. Those are some of the main commands that you are going to be using as a operator. We're at the 14-minute mark right now, so I'm going to go ahead and close down this part 1 video. The next part, we're going to talk about some more commands. We still have quite a few commands to go through, so we'll see how far we get, and we may end up having to do 4 parts. I'm not sure. So this is kind of a pretty detailed series of videos. Sorry if it's boring. I'll try to make them as entertaining as possible, but they vary. They pretty much are just training videos, so sorry about that. Anyways, let's go ahead and get the next video started.